Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is March 11th, and right now we are looking at the combination of Doppler radars here across the state of California. You can see there still are some winter storm warnings as the snow continues to pile up across some of the higher elevations. This is concerning. This persistent precipitation here just not giving us a break, and there's another strong atmospheric river coming on in here. So we really could use this break, but we're just not getting it, and some of the models are showing this to bring some pretty decent amounts of precipitation. We'll take a look at that, and we'll take a look at what that atmospheric river is likely to bring here as well. Taking a look here at the infrared satellite imagery with the air mass overlay, you can see that atmospheric river weakening and moving out of the area here, but we continue with this persistent onshore flow here that just continues to bring that precipitation that we really don't need right now. We really need the break. And back here, another sinister atmospheric river is got its eyes on California here. It's going to bring that subtropical moisture and slam it into the state again and probably cause some heavy precipitation all the way down towards Southern California again here coming up. Now, taking a look at this ocean water quality content rain advisory, watch out because with this flooding here, you can get a lot of sewage that washes out to the ocean here. So try to avoid the beaches there, or don't go in the water at least for about 72 hours. This is a common scene around the state, roads being washed out, water over roadways, homes being impacted, evacuation orders, flash flood warnings, flash flood emergencies all over the state here. I believe this is from Caltrans here. This is the snow forecast. You can see this persistent onshore flow continuing to pile up the snow here across Tioga Pass, Sonora, Ebbets, Carson. You can see some of these big amounts still continuing to fall, still measured in feet here coming up. Fairly high snow levels, relative to what we have been getting here, but they are going to rise here as we go on in before this next storm rolls in here early this upcoming week here. So taking a look here again, Caltrans here talking about these slides that just kind of happen, and it can block these roads without much warning here. And you can see what a mess it is. There's just so much snow. The ground is saturated, and we've got another big storm headed into the state here. And this is the one I've been showing the last couple of days, just kind of reminding people of the incredible snowfall amounts across some of the Sierra Nevada. And another one, if you missed this one yesterday, we did have hurricane hunters out there in that atmospheric river. I don't know if they're planning on doing it with the next one as well, but getting a lot of attention out there. Pretty interesting there. Atmospheric river scale. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, the later you get into the season, the wetter the soils, the more snowfall you have, and the reservoirs are already getting fairly full here, you start to become mainly hazardous early in the season. Of course, you want to fill those reservoirs and bring the snowpack to your mountains here. So it's much more beneficial at that point, but we're now in the late season here. So these atmospheric rivers are mostly hazardous at this point. This is day one. Nothing highlighted here right now, but this precipitation falling is not helpful, and there's still some flood issues going on currently across the state. This is day two. You can see the slight reintroduced here due to that precipitation, that onshore flow pumping into the region. And then the big atmospheric river starts bearing down here on the day three, and you can see moderate already out there for some of the north central coastline there and some of the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, and the slight and marginal start to extend down into the foothills into central California there as well. Here's day four. You can see the moderate for some of the central coastline there and some of the Sierra Nevada foothills as well. Day five, that finally starting to slide south and out of the area, and hopefully we get a break after that, but that's still kind of up in the air. We'll take a look at that detail here in a moment. This is the GFS. Hot off the presses this morning. So as you look, you can kind of see this persistent nature of this rainfall and this precipitation continuing to build up. And that next powerful atmospheric river is not even here yet. And you can see some areas getting over 2 inches by this point across the higher terrain. I'm just scrolling through Sunday here. This is just 1 hour at a time. So this is a lot of rain to be dropping in advance of another powerful atmospheric river. So I have there's some pretty justified concerns for some of the areas across central and even northern California here. Now, here comes the next atmospheric river. You can see it coming across the ocean here and slamming into the state. Look at some of these huge amounts, up over 9 inches here showing. Now you're up over 10 inches here, and this front looks like it's going to bring some heavy rain all the way down through Southern California here as well. Some areas getting up over a foot of water equivalent precipitation. I mean, it's just picking on California at this point. It's just getting kind of ridiculous here. And so you need to stay aware here, remain prepared across the area. I did not hear of any deaths as of right now, so that tells me that people are prepared. You saw some of those incredible flooding footages with just rivers running through neighborhoods. That's amazing that there's no fatalities. Hopefully that's one of the benefits of social media, is that we are able to get the word out here in time to save lives. Now looking at the NAM 3KM, this is just out 60 hours. And again, you can see the persistent nature of this precipitation in advance of the atmospheric river. This is not the atmospheric river. And look at some of these precipitation totals piling up here. As we go on in through Monday, the atmospheric river is still not here. And look at some of these huge amounts showing up here on the high resolution model. This is not good, folks. And then at the very end of the run, you can see it coming across the ocean, but it's still not here. And with this onshore flow, this is really going to exacerbate things. So here we're looking at the European. Actually, let's do this. Let's back up to the European, and we're going to do the regular deterministic run here at 06Z, and we're going to look at the same thing here. And you can see that persistent nature of this precipitation in advance of this next atmospheric river has trouble written all over it, you guys. So here we go through Sunday. Now we're into Monday morning here, and we're not even to the atmospheric river yet, and there it finally starts to come. And look at all this precip that's going to be dropped across central and northern California just in advance of another monster atmospheric river coming in here. And then you can see potential for some heavy precip all the way down through Southern California as well. So yeah, not good news here, folks. We need to stay aware across the state. This is looking at the GFS. This is Integrated Vapor Transport. This is how we measure the atmospheric rivers here. And you can see this onshore flow continuing here before the next big storm. Just kind of hanging out there, adding on to precipitation we do not need at this point. And then the next big storm starts rolling in here as we go on into Tuesday morning, shown there, and really impacts much of the state. And we get a bit of a break here, and this system kind of falling apart by the time it gets to us. But on through the extended, look at this. There's still that southwest flow and the potential for more systems here as we go through the extended. Hopefully this changes here, because we really could use a break here across the state coming up. This is a wider look at things. Japan is on the right. California is on the right. Japan is on the left. There's the Hawaiian Islands here. There's that subtropical tap that impacted the state yesterday. We put this into motion here. This is last night's control run for the European as well, so this goes way out in the future. But we're going to watch this one, and you can see the next slug of moisture with the next strong atmospheric river impacting the state as we go on in through Monday night. Tuesday shown there. Bit of a break. The system falling apart, similar to what the GFS is showing there, but then another slug of moisture potentially coming here, and it's, at that point, you're basically saying no mas. We don't need any more atmospheric rivers at this time. And then you can see another one potentially off in the future there. So, we're not going to get too caught up in any details in the extended on these atmospheric rivers yet. We're just continuing to show the potential for them as we go on into the end of March here. So hopefully we get some well-deserved breaks here across the state of California as we go through the extended portion of the forecast here. But we still have a long way to go here with this system coming in Monday night into Tuesday. This is total snow 10-to-1 ratio here. And you can see the snowfall piling up across the higher terrain. Again, they're measuring it in feet out there. You can see maybe 4 feet for some areas out here across the Sierra Nevada as you go on in through Wednesday morning, shown there. And this is looking at Mammoth. This is the cross section here. This is 10,000 feet up here, and this is the surface. So you can see the one we just went through, and then another warm up with that next system, and then potentially another warm up coming up there. But we'll see how this goes. This is going to fluctuate back and forth. This forecast will change once you get out past midweek here. But this next one looks pretty locked in. Some pretty high snow levels will be accompanying that one as well. So, yeah, we're going to do it again here, folks. Here it is back here. It's just north of Hawaii right now. It's going to bring a nice shot of subtropical moisture across the region as well. And like I mentioned several times, we're getting this persistent onshore flow that is not going to help. It's really going to exacerbate some of the flooding across some of the area here. So, again, maybe we will downtrend this atmospheric river a little bit, and we can, hopefully the precipitation amounts downtrend in the forecast here. But it does look like more significant flooding is likely here for California as you go on in through early next week, on in through mid next week coming up here. So we'll continue to watch this day by day. I'll do my best to keep everybody aware. Hopefully social media helped out a lot yesterday. I mean, you saw some of the impacts the flooding was having, and I think we escaped pretty well with all things considered here as far as loss of life and whatnot. But there's more on the way here, folks. So we'll pay attention to that in the upcoming days here. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. I'll probably going to do a live stream tomorrow evening as well. And yeah, we'll go over everything. We'll do some Q&A with that also. So hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, hope you guys get a chance to clean up out there as well. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.